Good afternoon, everyone. It was really nice to see so many ladies on our Zoom call on Tuesday night, and we're hoping to see more ladies next Tuesday night. So you definitely want to get in contact with me if you're not sure how to log into that call. You know, we didn't stop being the church because we can't meet together. So even though we're not at one Main Street, we can still see each other on FaceTime and on Zoom calls. So let's be making those a priority and reaching out to one another too. Marie Stradiff was telling me that in this season, one of the young ladies at church has been reaching out and asking her how she's doing and checking up on her. And Marie says that has made all the difference, and she really loves that. So I'm going to, later on today, I'm going to send out an updated version of our contact list so that you can be like looking through that and asking the Lord, who do I need to reach out to call, or to send a message. We need to be checking up on one another and seeing if there's any needs that we can meet as well. So today I wanted to talk to you about goats. I always thought that my family had a goat. So when I was younger, I lived on a farm. My dad wanted to have an off-the-grid, self-sustaining farm in northern Maine. And we had lots of animals. And one time, probably when I was about 5 or 6, we had another homesteading family over for dinner. And they were talking to us about their goat that ate the clothes off their clothesline. And somehow I incorporated that goat into my story. And I always thought that was part of our farm story. And it wasn't until this past summer when I was talking to my dad about it and saying, do you remember that goat we had that ate the clothes off the clothesline? And he was like, we never had a goat. So I kind of walked it back and realized that I incorporated someone else's goat into my story. So I want to encourage you today not to incorporate other people's goats into your story during this season. Other people's disappointments or anxieties or fear or frustrations. I know that there's a lot of disappointments. People who are planning weddings, graduations, vacations, other celebrations that aren't able to happen. And while we do grieve those losses with people, let's not take those negative emotions and incorporate them into our stories. I think, especially regarding fear, fear robs us of our confidence in the Lord. It causes us to make bad decisions. And fear is a spiritual temptation that robs us of our peace and joy. So how do we overcome those negative emotions that we're all coming in contact with and we're all wrestling through? Something that we focus on here at our house is practicing looking outward and upward instead of inward and downward. When we're looking inward and downward, those negative emotions are easy to succumb to. So keeping in contact with people, playing games with our kids, going for walks, learning a new hobby, these are all ways that we can be in relationship with one another and looking outward and upward. So what have you guys been doing? We want to hear a shout out. You can load your own video in the comment section and tell us how things have been going for you, what you have been doing to occupy your time. I know since I'm not working that I have been really working on exercising, and I have dug my guitar back out, which I had put away for a season. And we are playing some games. We learned a new game from the LaCroix. It's Uno Flip. So we ordered that online. You can too. It's an exciting game. 2 sides to the Uno card. And also practicing rejoicing during this season. The joy of the Lord really is our strength. Paul says, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. And bring all your requests to the Lord. And the peace of God that passes all understanding will guard our hearts and will guard our minds. And rejoicing builds the greenhouse where growth happens regardless of the season. So even though we're in a season of uncertainty right now, we can still be growing in our relationship with one another and in our relationship with the Lord. And those are eternal things that are important to grow. So we love you guys, and we want to hear from you. Let us know what's going on in your lives, and we'll talk to you soon.